going on, everyone? We have to talk about Pudgy Penguins right now. We are up 10% in the last 24 hours. So we're going to talk about this today, guys. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice, but let's get straight into it. So as you can see right now, we are up 10% in the last 24 hours. Pretty much flat for the last week. And then we are still down 25% in the last 14 days and 31% in the last 30 days. So you can actually see over here $203 million in trading volume and $1 billion in market cap. So Pudgy Penguins is back above $1 billion market cap. And not only that, guys, before we even go over the charts, we got a lot of interesting stuff going on in the charts right now. But before we talk about the charts, just know this is exactly what Dogecoin did before it absolutely took off. And then Shiba Inu followed in Dogecoin's footsteps, and then Shiba Inu did the exact same rally. So now we're seeing Pudgy Penguins doing that. They're getting plastered all over the world. They're everywhere. Literally, you can't look anywhere without seeing Pudgy Penguins. If you're in any type of financial center or any type of financial space online or in person, you're going to see Pudgy Penguins. The New York Stock Exchange, the NASDAQ, Pudgy Penguins. Times Square, New York City, Pudgy Penguins all over the place. You will literally see them everywhere. Literally, Ukraine, like they're over here where people are getting bombed daily, and Pudgy Penguins just pulls up. Like you don't see crypto projects doing stuff like that, but Pudgy Penguins is literally everywhere. Argentina, PENGU is taking over Buenos Aires, Argentina for Dev Connect. That's huge, actually. That's another huge thing. So now you got Argentina, and then you probably got a bunch of other stuff that they're probably cooking up inside the makings, right? They're probably going to go do a whole South America tour like they've already done an Asian tour, right? But, it's a little bit more dangerous inside of South America. So, they might not be inside of certain areas, but, it is what it is. But, yeah, they are everywhere. They are absolutely everywhere. So let's talk about these charts now. So, again, we are now forming another bearish expanding triangle. So this is another bearish expanding triangle right here. So it's pretty interesting that it keeps the same pattern keeps forming. Now, Bitcoin is at a resistance area, and Bitcoin is actually currently trading inside of a falling wedge pattern. So if Bitcoin breaks up to the upside with this falling wedge pattern and actually breaks out here at the top of that falling wedge pattern, then this will be a very bullish signal for alts as well, right? But if it gets rejected, everything can get rejected and pull back as well. So something else that we have to also think about when we come to Pudgy Penguins is there's a possibility that we could see like other cryptos pump and then other cryptos not do as well. So there's always the possibility of pullbacks for the alts as well, because Pudgy Penguins, it's more than a meme coin, but some people see it as just a meme coin, so it might be bunched in with all the meme coins, so it might have a harder time breaking out because it's kind of bunched in with the meme coins. But all in all, I think Pudgy Penguins will still do well alongside of Bitcoin here. But as we come through this bearish expanding triangle, we're going to get here to the top. We do not want to get rejected here. If we get rejected here, we are absolutely screwed, and then we're going to dump below this area here, and then we're going to go back down to 0.013, and then we'll probably eventually get down to 0.008 like I've been talking about. But I don't know if that'll actually happen. I think we might actually be at the start of building the next bull run for this season, right? The next bull run for the season might be coming. We're seeing higher lows every single time. We're creating higher highs every single time. And now this is starting to look like it might be a real breakout. So, we're going to have to keep an eye out for this. Now, this is only the 30-minute chart, of course. We can come over here and look at this on the 4-hour chart now, and it will look a lot different. And you can see a lot less noise here. So, I don't know. This is a bearish expanding triangle, right? It's a bearish expanding triangle, and it's typically a bearish pattern. But remember, not all of these patterns go in the direction that we think they're going to go. This could easily break out if Bitcoin continues that breakout. And I was showing you guys this Bitcoin breakout because this is a falling wedge. Falling wedges are bullish patterns. They're bullish patterns. They have an 82% win rate of being bullish. So I think if this breaks out to the upside, then what we could end up doing is invalidating this tiny bearish expanding triangle on Pudgy Penguins. So that's what I'm looking forward to right now. And as for the indicators, the MACD shows a lot of buying pressure here for Pudgy Penguins. That's pretty good. And then the percent R trend exhaustion shows both the short term and the long term trend both breaking out. The short term trend has over exceeded the long term trend. So there's a possibility when the short term trend becomes overbought, it could pull back and meet the long term trend and kind of bring the long term trend back down. Kind of like how it did before. Back here, you can see the short term trend broke away from the long term trend, which usually ends up causing a major crash. You can see October 26th. What did we do on October 26th? We actually had a really big pullback because the short-term trend on the percent R trend exhaustion overextended the long-term trend, and eventually it had to come back down, which caused a major crash. So if this happens again, we could quite possibly see another major crash. But again, if Bitcoin can lift everything up and go through its rising or its falling wedge, then we can be good. So as you can see, there's always going to be contradictions inside of every technical analysis. Nobody can predict anything. But all we can do is track the directions of the market. We can track where is the supports at, where are the resistance areas at, right? Where are they more likely going to turn around at? If we pulled back, where are we more likely to pull back to? If we go up, where are we more likely to stop at? And that is how I like to do things, because I just get in here to trade. I'm not here to, I'm not here to make friends. I'm not here to, try to, look at the market and be like, oh, it's going to go off. It's going to keep going. It's never going to drop. It's never going to drop. And then when it starts dropping, oh, it's going to keep going down. It's going to keep going down. It's never going to. No, we got to know when it's going to start and when it's going to stop. So that's what I like to do on here. But anyways, looking at the 4-hour chart, like I was saying before, like we're going through this percent R trend exhaustion here. So hopefully, the long-term trend starts to speed up, right? Hopefully it starts to speed up, but we'll see. Either way, we're heading up here towards 0.017, so get ready. We'll be at 0.017 soon, and whether or not we break out from that point is going to be completely up to the market. I would say with the bullish momentum that we have right now, we should be able to push higher than 0.017, and I think that we could start creating new highs and break back into the 2-cent area. So we could quite possibly be doing that soon. Now, you may be asking, have I bought back in? No, I have not bought back in, because I told you guys, I'm pretty stern on my price targets. Because I've gotten burned in these markets so many times that I stick to my strategy. If I say it, then that's where I'm staying. And I've already said it that my target is the lowest I will buy a Pudgy Penguins at right now is 0.008. That is still the lowest. Now it may continue to break out, and at that point, then I'll make my decision if I want to get in or not, right? But that's after it starts to pass 2 cents. If I start seeing it get up to like 0.022, 0.025, that's when I'm really gonna reconsider and probably start buying, right? But other than that, if I don't see 0.025 or something like that, like I'm not gonna just start panic buying and FOMOing into the market. Like you never want to FOMO into the market, guys. Never. But anyways, this was a big bearish expanding triangle right here. As you can see, bearish expanding triangle. And then you can see we're inside of a smaller bearish expanding triangle. So we broke out of the bigger one to the downside. Let's see if we break out to the smaller one in the downside. I'm still leaning more towards the upside though, just because the momentum. But if Bitcoin breaks that momentum again, boom, we're going down, and we are preparing for the next drop to 0.012 and then eventually 0.018. So I still have the same conviction here. So still waiting for the same price. If it does not hit, cool. Bitcoin's taking off. Bitcoin might keep going. That's cool. I'm cool with missing that. I'm cool with missing it. Maybe you're not. So definitely do your own research, do your own due diligence. This is one thing about trading, guys. I want to give you guys some hints on trading. This is one thing about trading. You cannot always go by what other people say, because of your conviction on something could be completely different than mine. Like you cannot go off of what I say because I have a different perspective, right? I could miss the whole bull market and I could give it a thumbs up. I would be like, cool, I missed the whole entire bull market. and then I'll start trading stock options because it's like 100-fold. Like you trade $1,000 inside of stock options, and then you get 10% in one day. You can do 10% every single day in the stock market if you're doing options and you're good enough. But inside the crypto market, you just don't get 10% every day. You don't get 20% every day. Like you get sideways trading movement and downward trading movement and all these weird fluctuations and sideways movement until eventually, boom, you get a huge pump of like 10%, 20, 30, 100, all inside of the last 3 days or in the last week. You got a whole 100, 150%. But the stock market is different. Every single day you can do 10% plus in the stock market on options when you're doing options. So that's why when you guys see, I really don't care if I miss an opportunity because there's so many opportunities, right? And that's kind of how you have to look at it while you're trading. You don't want to FOMO into anything. Pudgy Penguins is one coin. There's so many opportunities inside of the market, and there's so many that I'm currently watching that me missing Pudgy Penguins is very insignificant to my ability to make money while trading. But I do think Pudgy Penguins is a good project, and I think there is going to be a better entry point for me personally, but there might not be. There's always that chance that it does not continue to go down. And right now it's looking like that could be that chance for it to not continue to go down. It's looking like it could keep going up, right? It's looking like Bitcoin is, setting another standard here, right? Bitcoin's going to continue to bring the market up. If it can break out of this rising wedge, which is a bullish pattern again, then that's going to be, or the falling wedge. I mean, if it can break out of this falling wedge, which is a bullish pattern, then it's going to be bullish. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated on this. Let me know what you guys think. Hit the like button and subscribe, all that good stuff. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. And as always, I'll be back with another video.